Show, man. Glad to speak with you. And how are you doing today? The week of the fight? How are you feeling?
Yeah, I'm doing great. Thanks to you guys for having me on.
Yeah.
It's good to speak to you. Feeling good. We sort of Tuesday night out before the fight on Friday now, so I'm just getting the nitty gritty done. Getting down to making my weight and that kind of thing. Most of the training's done at this point. Just looking forward to getting in there on Saturday.
Nice.
Nice. Now, for most title fights, obviously, like you have to be on point as far as your weight goes. How big do you get, like, as far as your weight goes before a fight, and how much you have to cut to make that 170 pound weight limit?
Um, Most of the time I'll walk around about. You guys work in pounds, we work in kilos, but
Oh
I'd
yeah,
say
yeah, 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 yeah. Sorry.
83 maybe kilos, cutting down to 77, so that's six kilos to do. But right now I'm a lot lighter. I've been kind of dieting and cutting that weight for the last few weeks. What I like to do is very little dehydration. I like to do as little as that as possible because
Yeah.
I just feel better when it comes to fight night. I think if I've not dehydrated myself before and feel fresh, but yeah, we've got to get down. We've got to get that championship limit. So
Right.
a little bit more.
That's
Yeah.
smart.
A lot of fighters like to wind down their training, kind of limit their sparring. Is that what you like to do, or how do you like to? How's your training the last like week or so?
Approaching my fight, I kind of like to stay a bit more full on. I think
Hmm.
I train so much so often that if I'm like, for example, if a fight's on Saturday and I kind of stop training completely the week before,
Yeah.
by the time fight night comes out, I'll feel like almost like I've forgotten how to do MMA.
Oh
So
wow.
so yeah, we've done some only like light work, light what I call light sparring with heavy grappling.
Hmm.
Um, we take the sparring out pretty much because we don't want to risk injuries or cuts or anything like that so close to
Yeah.
the fight. But,
Right.
that's the beauty of jiu-jitsu and grappling. We can still go pretty hard that way.
Yeah.
To keep sweat on. Yeah, so that's what we've been doing.
Nice.
Now this next fight's for the vacant welterweight title. A big fight for you. Championship opportunities is always a big thing. Now your opponent Carl, like you guys have, like fairly similar records. Is there anything that you see in this game that you want to explore it and how do you see this fight coming out at the end?
Yeah, I think Carl's a very tough opponent. He's a dangerous guy. He's won his last six straight. I think out of five
Yeah.
of those, he stopped him in the first round. So he's you can kind of tell the kind of fighter you're going to get by looking at him. He's powerful. He's powerfully built.
Yeah.
He throws hard. He pressures. And his grappling's good as well. He's got some good fast submission attacks. So that's kind of stuff I all need to be aware of. But I think stylistically, I think this matches up well for me. I think I tend to do well striking wise against guys who come forward towards me.
Hmm.
The more the guy comes forward towards me, the more he can put him on the end of a jab,
Mm.
Yeah.
that kind of thing. And I feel like on the ground, I feel like I'm really confident in my ground game. I can fight on top and I can fight from my back. And I think I should be able to nullify all his submission attacks and counter with my own.
Nice. Do you guys both are pretty much the two top European fighters right now? Or do you guys think that once either one of you, well, you obviously are looking to get that title shot, that it's gonna just your popularity, your names is gonna be put out there even more so, and you got the big promotions most likely will be calling out for you.
Yeah, I hope so. It's been a goal of mine for a long time to fight in the UFC. I think the way that Cage Warriors is set up now with it's streaming on Fight Pass and having so many of the previous Cage Warriors champions have actually gone on to fight inside the UFC. But it's a great stepping stone. But really, like that's the stuff for me to think about on Sunday. I think
Yeah.
after this fight, right now my focus is 100% on getting in there and putting in that performance. 25 minutes if it takes that of the best version of me possible, and then I'm going to think about all that stuff on Sunday morning where we go from there, etc.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Now ever since Conor McGregor kind of blew up in MMA. You know, a lot of European fighters are also coming up as well. You know, like I think the UFC has 4 European champions right now, which is unheard of. You know, before then, how do you feel about that, man? Like, does that kind of make you proud and make you kind of like optimistic to to be in the UFC? You know, one day. And I know you just said that you don't want to think about that right now, but it must be encouraging to know that the UFC is pushing all these European fighters, man.
Yeah, I mean, I've been in this game for quite a while now. I made my pro debut in 2008, but before that, I was training for a long time before that. You know, so I've seen the way the sport's been in the UK, particularly Europe, and you know, like it was. You could literally have sat there and counted out the UK European fighters at one point on one hand, I think. It's a lot better now, and you know, like what Connor's done's paved the way for, I think, for more guys to you know, to kind of build up their fan bases in the States and with the larger audience. But yeah, it's really encouraging, and it's great as well, because you know, a lot of the guys we kind of our peers, if you will, you know, the guys we're training with together are in the UFC now, and they're showing that they can do well. There was like this, there was a bit of a thing, I think, you know, maybe in the beginning, but the Brazilians and the American guys were just that kind of level above. And like you say, now four world champions, you know, I don't think that's the case anymore. I think the scene's thriving out here as much as it is on the other side of the Atlantic.
Yeah. Are you expecting a big crowd coming out for you? A big local crowd?
Yeah, well, I'm based in Manchester.
Yeah, you're based in Manchester, right? Yeah.
Which is like, it's not too bad a trip. I know a lot of people are coming down, and my teammate Martin Stapleton, Stapes, is fighting on the same card as well. So we're going to take a big base of kind of travelling support down to the capital. So looking forward to that.
Nice.
Now, like, you have a very interesting story, and for the fans who don't know your story, like you pretty much grew up in like a blue collared, you know, household. I think your mom was a nurse, and your dad fitted windows for a living, and I think you did have some work yourself, you know, as far as doing that. Do you think that hard work, or seeing that hard work from your parents, kind of helped you become the person you are, and also like you did rugby at some point, right? Are you still doing that right now as a hobby?
No, I mean. Just the area I grew up in and where I lived, I just kind of, everyone played either football or rugby, soccer or rugby.
Yeah.
And I ended up playing rugby, but then I realized, like, the majority of the time, the only reason I was turning up to play rugby was for when the kind of scraps broke out, because every week we'd go play a game and there'd be like a little bit of a fight breaking out, and I'd think, you know, this is a bit I'm really enjoying. I'm not kicking the ball, but when the punches start going, I feel better. So then, yeah, I moved forward to mixed martial arts from initially Thai boxing and then into mixed martial arts. But yeah, like, there's nothing kind of out of ordinary about my my background.
Yeah.
I was, like, I think I have been instilled with a bit of a work ethic from my parents, because they're, you know, they're hardworking people who gave me that advantage to move forward in life and do what I want to do.
Mm-hmm. And you're also like a law student, right? Weren't you a pre-law student before you transitioned full to MMA? Is that something that you're still continuing pursuing, or are you close to finishing?
Oh, yeah. I think I had a little bit of I caught some injuries a while back, and I had a particularly bad back, and I did a few things, like I had to kind of put my MMA career on hiatus, and I got a professional boxing license, but at the same time I decided I wanted to do something for the future, so I studied a law degree, but then I came back into fighting, and I finished the course, and I got the degree and stuff like that. But it's, to be honest, I think my life now is pretty much wrapped around MMA.
Yeah.
I think, like, you know, I'm part running the gym, so that's what I'd like to do going forward. And I'm coaching all the time as well, and I definitely see when I finish fighting that I'll have a future in in coaching because that's something I really like and enjoy doing.
Nice.
This is a bit of a weird question, but how's nightlife over there in Europe? And as a kid growing up playing rugby and also fighting, did you ever use that to your advantage to maybe get some European girls? Because I love my European girls.
You know what? I think I had it with the nightlife out here. I used to go out a bit when I was younger, but I'm 30 years old now. But then like during the time, I don't do it anymore. But I was working nightclub security. I was
wow,
a doorman or a bouncer,
Yeah.
and I did like 6 or 7 years, and I just I just can't hack nightclubs anymore. I'd rather I'd rather go out for a meal or something, with my and now I'm definitely I'm definitely past that. But yeah, you get over it. It's a good nightlife for sure.
In your time as a bouncer, was there anything that you still remember as a crazy moment? Because there's got to be a few, and then I'm sure guys that test you, and then they realize that you can actually throw hands.
Tough guys out there.
Yeah, but I mean, it's just that's kind of the nature of it, but then you get like these guys who are like don't really look like a doorman. He's not that big, I'm only walking around that. But yeah, it's just crazy stuff. But it was a wild time. We were doing that when I was kind of training to fight every morning, and then we were working in various nightclubs and stuff until late at night, and it was just I was just going off fumes at that point. It was around the time I was studying as well, so I was pretty much studying full time, training full time, and working this security job more or less full time through the night as well. So things are a lot more chilled now. I find it a lot easier to focus on fighting.
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say a lot of other fighters they work the door. They work as doormen and they work as security a lot together. Did you work with other fighters?
Yeah. I mean, we had it's still a thing in the gym now. You see like a lot of the younger lads are doing it now because they have to really, because the money, and unless you sign with the UFC, is not that great, and they need to train during the day. So what else do you do when you're when you're a hard kid who knows how to choke people out, and you don't want to work a day job? You're gonna get a night. You're gonna have to get a nighttime job so you can train during the day. So yeah, we have a thing out here. We call it a cage fighting doorman.
That's crazy, man. Because it's almost like live sparring, right? Like if you ever get to a fight with these tough guys, it's almost like a fight, like a real fight. It's crazy.
Yeah, well, I mean, the thing, like one of the important things I think with mixed martial arts is mixed martial arts and jiu-jitsu and all the composite parts of it. That's the real self-defense.
Yeah.
So you get these guys who talk about self-defense and Aikido, and they want to show you like just to disarm a knife man, and you realize very quickly that those kind of guys, when the shit does hit the fan, there's no chance, because the advantage of training MMA is you're training in a live situation every day. Obviously we're not training with knives and stuff like that, but just the ability to have felt that kind of physical struggle, to know what it feels like to receive or to give a punch, in those real life situations does come into play. And you normally find what I always found with the guys who trained and the guys who could fight, they were a lot safer as doormen than kind of the big sort of juiced up bodybuilder types who always had something to prove, because we were training hard, basically fighting all week, and then the last thing you want to do when I got to work, all I wanted to do was sit down, have a quiet night, drink some coffee, and try not to fall asleep. And I definitely was like myself. The other fighters, we were never the guys who were kind of looking for trouble, but we were the guys who had to deal with it when the trouble came.
Nice.
And it's February now. It's the second month into the year. What are your goals for 2017, man? Like, how many times do you want to fight this year, and where do you see yourself maybe at the end of the year?
Yeah, goals for this year. Obviously, I want to take this belt. That's my focus right now. from there, it's a little bit out of my control. We'll have to see what comes next. I'd love, and it's like I said earlier, it's a massive goal to fight in the UFC. So if I could make my UFC debut this year, that would be fantastic. Be come true. But other than that, if when I take the belt, I'll defend the belt. I'm an active guy. You look through my record, I'll normally manage to fight 3 or 4 times a year, and I don't plan to make this year any different. I think my skill level's the best it's ever been. I feel fitter than I've ever been, and mentally I'm stronger than I've ever been before. So I just want to keep busy and keep racking up that experience.
Yeah. How many fights do you have left on your Cage Warriors contract? And does it have like an out clause just in case the UFC calls? Like how does that work?
Yeah, I believe there's a it used to be called the Zuffa clause, but I guess it's not called that anymore.
Yeah, it's not the Zuffa clause anymore.
Yeah. WME.
IMG.
Yeah, I think there's a clause if I don't have a fight booked, then I can go and fight there. But currently, I'm only contracted to Cage Warriors for 1 bout. But if I win the title, I enter into a free fight contract with them.
Nice.
Now we know that in 2017, talking and or cutting promos is a big part of mixed martial arts. So I want to put you on the spot, man. For the fans that are watching, tell them why they should see your fight and what they could expect, and maybe just cut a pro wrestling promo as well.
Yeah. Why you should watch my fight? Because I bring it every time. You're going to see a performance that's technical, but also I'm going to go out there and look to finish. This is my 28th pro fight. I've never been in a bad fight. I've got 17 stoppages. Keep watching, don't blink.
Nice.
Love it.
So we want to thank you for being on the show. Do you want to shout out to any sponsors? Do you want to tell how the fans can find you on social media, all that?
Yeah, you can find me on social media at Matt Inman 86, which is Twitter and Instagram. I've got a Facebook page called Matt Inman MMA Fighter. I think you should be able to find that just by searching. I've got my website, mattinmansbg.com. And I'd like to shout out all my sponsors, Arc Africa, PL Civil Engineering, Caraho Construction, Volvair Clothing, Atolo Solutions, Express Estate Agency, and I'm bound to have missed someone, but I will make up for my notes when I say this.
You
that was pretty
great.
good. That was pretty good right there. Yeah, most people don't even remember like 1 or 2.
Like 1 or 2, exactly. But Matt, Josh and I appreciate your time and wish you nothing but the best, and hopefully you can grab that welterweight title, and hopefully we'll see you in the UFC, man, one day. And don't forget the small people in your life. Ever.
Yeah, I just want to say thanks so much for having me on and showing me interest. It's great to. It's always good to talk shop, especially to people on the other side of the world. So thanks for that.
Well, it seems like you have a really good head on your shoulders, man. From sticking with school and having that crazy life, but also focusing on your career. I know if it was me, man, I'd be probably just having girls on my mind the whole time. So I commend you. You have a strong head in your mind. So we wish you nothing but the best, and hopefully you got that welterweight title, man.
Yeah, we look forward to it. Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, take care, Billy.
Take care, man.